Hey, what is going on everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today we are comparing the original Panasonic retro headphones to the new wireless version of them. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So not a lot of people actually know about these headphones. This is the RP-HTX7 model, while the new wireless one is the RP-HTX80B. So those are the names. Not very friendly, but they're mostly known as the Panasonic Retros because that's the only model of retro that they have, either these two things. So yeah, these were originally gifted to me by a friend, and I quite enjoyed them when I first got them. They looked pretty cool, they were pretty solid, and the build quality was pretty fantastic. They usually go for $30 or $35 if I remember correctly, and yeah, they sound pretty great, and the comfort level was pretty decent. In fact, I can't really complain for what they are, especially at the time. I think these are about 6 years old now. I think they came out in 2012, I'm not too sure, it could be further. But one thing that I do remember correctly is that I actually saw these at the airport at one point. That might have been where he got it actually. And that said, at the time when I was looking to buy a new pair of these just to have, I found out that they're mostly sold in Europe and you don't really see them a lot here in North America. So if you're someone who has one of these, or you're actually someone who got them at the airport because you forgot your pair of headphones at the time, and these were probably a lifesaver because these are pretty fantastic in terms of audio quality. They sound pretty clean, they're very warm, it's a pretty great sturdy pair of headphones. And the cable here is plenty long, it's rubberized, but it had this really thick plug which I would say isn't the best plug out there. Especially for modern smartphones, if you have a case on it, you probably can't plug this in, but at the time it was probably fine. The sidebands adjust very easily, and again, it is a pretty sturdy pair of headphones, except for the ear pads. Like a lot of headphones out there, at some point they'll wear out. And the original ones were actually pretty cracked up. I mean, you had cracks all over the leather, or the pleather, or whatever. And yeah, I just pretty much went on eBay and ordered a cheap replacement pair for about $5, and arrived about 2 months later. I went ahead and installed them, and they fit pretty well. I just had to stretch them out to ensure that it fits my ear properly. The depth in here was pretty great as well. In fact, when you put these on, they're pretty comfortable, and there's a lot of spacing on the inside, so it feels like your ear is just suspended in a can of sound. And that's about it for this pair. They come in a couple colors, and I'll list them here if they are. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the wireless version, which I have to say I'm quite disappointed with. Although the aesthetics here look pretty great, and they come in a variety of some really cool retro color schemes. And I sat there for half an hour deciding on what color to get, and I ended up getting this one, which according to the box here, they call it red. So that's that. As a stylish pair of headphones, they look pretty great. They're very nice and clean, kind of improved on the texture here. Honestly, either one is fine here, but instead of a shiny finish, it is now a nice matte finish, which is pretty smooth. And the ear pads, at first glance and at first touch with your fingers, you may think that this is an improvement over the original ones, which were a bit more stiff, and they had no padding on the inside. But you'll quickly find out that that is not the case, and unfortunately, these are very disappointing in terms of comfort compared to the original ones. And by the way, these are going for around $100 or so, depending on where you find them. I got these for about $99 on sale from Amazon.ca. So yeah, when you go ahead and wear these, your ears are not going to go inside, they're not going to go outside, they're just going to sit flat like that, and it's not really comfortable. By the way, the headbands on both of these are fine, you know, the mechanism works fine, and there's no complaints in terms of padding on the top. They just sit on your head and it's all good. And once again, they're very flexible and very sturdy. Now, how is the audio quality, and how is the latency, and if there's any hissing in the background? There's no latency, and that's good. And the audio quality, it's not as good as the original, but it's pretty okay. And if you are wondering, here's a quick look at the specifications. It's using Bluetooth 4.1 and the SBC codec. And lastly, taking a quick look at the bottom here, we can see that there isn't much going on. We got volume up, volume down, / backwards, forwards, pause, play, and answer phone call button. Then we got the micro USB charging port as well as the microphone, power and pairing button, as well as the LED indicator with the little logo right there. And if you're wondering what the microphone sounds like, well, take a listen.
So here's a quick microphone test being recorded on my LG V20. Just a quick note about the ear pads. They are not terrible, at the same time they are not super comfortable. And when you put them side by side with the original ear pads, you'll find out how much better the original ones are. Can you get by with these? Yes. If you really like how they look, you can wear them. But other than that, as you guys can hear, the microphone here is probably only good enough for phone calls, and I would not recommend using it for anything else. So with that said, moving on.
And yeah guys, that is actually pretty much it for this video. So my only complaints about the new version of the original HTX7 would be 1, the ear pads here are completely ruined. They are nothing like the original ones. And if you are wondering if you can install the old ones on the new ones, don't do it. I've already tried it and vice versa, and it did not work out. And what they have done here is they pretty much changed the clipping mechanism for the ear pads. So the new ones are a bit smaller, and they're also positioned in a different way, so it doesn't work out, and they're also a bit shorter as well. And that's why you're missing out on all that depth. Even though the old ones are a bit more stiff, they provide a lot of breathing room, and they give you a lot of space between your ears and the bottom of the headset, even though it does not have any padding, which the new ones do. But yeah, the new ones are softer, but again, they have completely ruined this headset if you compare it to the old one, and if you compare it to even some cheaper headphones. To put it simply, they're just more comfortable. Now the second issue that I have with this thing is that the buttons here are actually pretty flat. They're very hard to distinguish. It's self-explanatory. It's not very easy to find out what you're clicking, and they feel pretty cheap. And now actually thinking about it, there's one more issue that I have with this thing, and that would be that there's no headphone jack. They could have at least included a regular 3.5mm option in this thing, but again, that doesn't matter because the ear pads here are pretty terrible and they're not comfortable at all, and I honestly don't think you should get these things unless you want a stylish pair of headphones. But yeah, that is all for this video, so thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed this video and found it helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.